You've got to love playoff basketball. Game 1 today delivered. Game 2 just as good. The Timberwolves holding on for the Game 4 win. They're now up 3-1 in this series with a final score 116-113. Welcome into Playoff Central Live. Ashley Shamedy back with Wesley Matthews. We've got Devin Harris as well. You guys, these games today have been absolutely electric. This Lakers-Timberwolves game, 10 lead changes, 7 times tied. An overturned call there in the final seconds, and the Timberwolves able to hang on. Here it is right there. That's what it took, guys.
I've never seen a Hawkeye cannon. That new?
They got every angle.
What makes this play even bigger, the fact that the Lakers called timeout initially, the call gets...
Is the ball game. 116-113. We had Ant-Man play the entire second half, 43 points for him. You had Luka and LeBron doing absolute work. Let's go ahead and hear from Anthony Edwards after the big win.
Tell me what...
Anthony Edwards puts up 43 points in 44 minutes, played the entire second half, makes clutch shot after clutch shot, but he gives a shout out to his teammates, Dante, Naz Reid, you got Jaden McDaniels, because they did absolutely make those plays down the stretch. Who impressed you most? I mean, obviously Anthony Edwards with 40-plus points, but when you look at those role players and how they secured this win.
Naz Reid. Naz Reid. I've been talking about Naz Reid the whole day. I mean, you see it. He hasn't missed a shot in the fourth quarter, which is insane. Didn't even know that was really a thing. He plays with energy. He plays with confidence. You know, I love his story, how he came into this league undrafted, and I thought was crazy about that too, but he just shows up. He does his job. He does his role. You see his versatility on the defensive end, what he adds to the offensive end. I mean, he's a big-time player.
I think Naz Reid as well, but you can't McDaniels. Obviously, the 37 that he had, in the previous game. Obviously, he's guarding Luka the entire game. Never really gets tired, but still has the energy to find ways to make big plays offensively as well. And, Ant had a lot of help today. Did a lot of work, but the help that he's getting right now is definitely, a big part of what Minnesota's doing. And defensively, their ability to guard the pick and roll and to keep Lakers out of the paint.
The Lakers outscored the Timberwolves 36-23 in that third quarter. They had some elite shot making. I mean, what could they have done differently down the stretch, or was it just one of those games that this is how it unfolded?
Sometimes that's just how it is in the league. You have moments like that where it feels like there's no way we're losing this game. Everything's falling. We got a harmony about it. I mean, they switched their starting lineup to start the second half. They saw something that they identified. They went zone, took Minnesota out of their rhythm, so it was like they did what they were supposed to do. Minnesota just did a little bit more. Sometimes it's like that.
And now they lead the series 3-1, and they're going to go back to L.A. to potentially close it out. But let's go ahead and hear from Lakers head coach J.J. Redick after the game.
JJ, you made the change of the lineup to start the second half and went with those guys the whole way through. Was that the plan from the start, and how did you kind of manage what you were going to do?
No, it wasn't planned, but we just made the decision at halftime.
What do you take away, I guess, most from a kind of an emotionally difficult loss like that, in which you had yourselves in pretty good shape multiple times and they just kept coming back?
We certainly played well enough to win, and we gave the effort to win, and not a planned thing to play 5 guys an entire second half. We asked them at the beginning of the fourth quarter, told them we had 2 extra timeouts. If you need a sub, let us know. Those guys gave a lot.
JJ, how much stress did Ant put your perimeter defenders on there in the fourth, and just how did your guys, I guess, at times fight and compete and keep him to space, but ultimately kind of ran out of gas against him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a difficult player, and I think there's certain lineups that you can look at that they play that we could have mixed in some different things when they have their shooters out there. It's tough to kind of mix in fires. We tried to fire multiple times. It wasn't communicated well. We did end up, trying to blitz him. He raced it both times and they scored. So, he's a very dynamic offensive player.
What was your vantage point on the inbound that was a turnover?
Well, let's just start with Luka got tripped. I mean, that was a blatant trip. He doesn't just fall in his own. We watched it. He gets tripped. So we should have been at the free throw line. that's not an excuse for why we lost, but we got fouled, and we had a chance to go up. Again, you work on the end game stuff, and you draw it up, and you tell guys very specific things. We didn't execute it, and very obvious we didn't execute it. So I don't know what that's my only vantage point. We just didn't execute.
JJ, were you concerned at all at a point? I know you said you checked in with the guys at the start of the fourth quarter about trying to find a minute or two there. LeBron has obviously played a ton of basketball in his life, and was there any second guessing for you on that decision?
Not on that one. I think once you've kind of made that decision, and they all are in, you just got to trust them.
JJ, we mentioned the possession battle pregame areas.
Yeah, I thought we played well enough in the first half. Our first shot defense, we should have been up double figures, and that's instead we're down. That's some turnovers led to some baskets, and then the offensive rebound just killed us in the first half.
You said after game one that your team needed to play with kind of the edge and mentality that you guys showed in game two. It seemed like you mentioned the offensive play, but Randall all game kind of was able to be a physical disruptor. What did you make of what he was able to do, and how was he impactful in the game?
As a defender, you're talking about?
No, just flying around the court everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, he's you got to live with some stuff. 22 shots, 25 points. You got to live with some stuff.
Did you think his energy though?
No, he's been great all series. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
As Coach Redick also saying that they definitely played well enough to win. Obviously, things just not going their way. Those 5 guys that he came out with in the second half played the entirety of that second half. But what is it about Minnesota? Is it a matchup problem? Obviously, Anthony Edwards, we just got to break down a little bit more of his play and his game. And, I mean, it got chippy there from the start. And I think it was in the first half, he and LeBron kind of going back and forth. Like, this is Anthony Edwards' moment, time to shine.
I mean, we saw this last year in the playoffs against Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Right? He loves these matchups, and obviously it brings something else out of him. But he's a matchup nightmare.
Yeah.
With his ability to space the floor and how he's increased his three-point shot.
Chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục với các bạn làm vòng.
Nên tưởng anh đang làm
Vòng của mình có tên là cần cậu.
đang làm ở trên đây không? Làm kiểu mãi được mà. Tự dám đi, bảo không ai dám. Ta mong người làm phiền. Làm sao? Nói lại câu đấy.
Chị Hương nào PPC làm phiền này thầy?
Hương nào?
Không biết được. Nghe thế.
Hương nào?
Đấy hỏi em có vụ sập PPC không biết như nào?
Không, sao? Trong BBG có một Hương.
Đấy, như là em tiền là của mình đã.
Nào người ta làm phiền đâu? Đấy, biết toàn nghe thông tin đâu nhỉ?
Chẳng nghe đâu.
Mồm thì bảo là không tìm hiểu gì, nhưng mà cái gì cũng biết, cái gì cũng hay.
Ý là ta đấy nhỉ?
Không phải là mỗi người ta tự nhiên tìm câu chuyện để kể cho em, mà chắc là em phải hỏi người ta mới nói.
Thế mà em chi? Em tận camera chuyển đến cơ không biết là thầy để trong sạch rồi nhá. Thầy như thế nào em chả hỏi ai cả. Mà em vẫn biết rất rõ thầy mà em cô đi hơn cô nào. Và mua nữa em muốn thì phải tìm cách gì vô tình biết cái nhiều nhiều cái vô tình là ập đến mình chứ sao làm chi
vô tình là không.
chẳng qua người ta có muốn nói không
Chuyện không đáng nói thì tự nhiên nói làm gì.
nhiều cái lắm
Tự nhiều cái nói ra xem mà úp mà ghét rồi.
cái gì đâu mà nói
Thế tự nhiên bảo nhiều cái nói đi. Cười
nói là gì
chịu.
nói là gì lúc 6 giờ tối mà học sinh lớp 2 vẫn đứng ở cổng trường cô lại mẹ đón
Đọc vào rồi.
trong lớpของTôm mẹ của bạn Phúc Thành nói con kìa cô giáo gọi mà không được và bạn Thành vẫn đang đứng ở cổng trường với cô giáo lúc 6 giờ một phút chị này hơi nhầy giáo mà hôm nào đi học quên thôi con anh không chịu ăn lên bỏ
Không,
em tại hôm đấy em ngủ có 5 tiếng
quên được sao? Đẻ con ra. Mai sau mình quên. Nó dám chắc là không quên không? Câu chuyện Yến Data thế nào? Nói xem nào, không được cứ mà ú mà
chính chủ trong câu chuyện thì không biết thì nói gì là đến người ngoài
anh biết thừa câu chuyện của nếu mà của anh biết thừa câu chuyện của anh luôn. Em biết cái gì? Cái câu chuyện nhiều khi câu chuyện ở bên này nó lại khác câu chuyện của anh sao? Càng nói kiểu mò mò lên lại càng để người khác có chịu. Thế thì thà không nói ra nữa. Làm sao?
cháu ý là em xin nóng không quả xoài ta đã để ra ngoài cho nó chín thì để tủ vào nó chín
Xoài xanh à?
ngoài nó chín thì còn